Hopefully everything is in view. I'm going to show you how to put this button back into place on your seatbelt assembly. Maybe it came off during use, or maybe it came off when you were trying to take the cover off to remove your upper B pillar. So let's get started. Let's time how long this takes us to do. First things first, let's remove this plastic cover, flathead screwdriver, one tab and then one on each side. Let's pull back as we pry it up. 1, 2, now the sides. Let's start from the top and then down. It's probably easier. There we go. Now get our 14mm socket, remove the seat belt. This part takes a little bit of time. Seat belt's being removed. Let's open our door and remove some of this weather stripping out of the way up until where the two plastic trim pieces meet. Our seat belt's out of the way. The bolt's not going to come loose, so you won't lose it. Open up the front door, remove this trim again to where the trim pieces meet. Put your 4 fingers on each side, thumb, thumb, pop, pop, and then there's a green push-in tab that you're going to remove too. You don't have to remove this fully, it's good enough as is. Let's see, there's a push-in tab here, another push-in tab here, and then 2 inserts that slide up. Tab 1, tab 2, and then the 2 ones we push upward. Now here comes the tricky part. Since our seatbelt adjustment is not on there, we can't slide this up or down with easy access to the nuts, so we're going to have to use a 12mm wrench. I might be able to use the socket on the bottom one. Got lucky on this one. You can pop off this plastic trim piece to get better access to the nuts, but the tabs that hold it together are kind of brittle, at least on one end, and it's going to be some more time reassembling it. Got the lower bolt out. Now let's do the upper bolt. Again, don't pull too far back. I'll show you the tabs when I remove it. Ooh. Remind me to buy some ratcheting wrenches. Now we have our bracket removed from the pillar. Oops. Let's not lose our bolts. So here's how it operates. When you pull in the assembly and slide it, this push pin goes in and the rail goes up or down. What's going on here? Anyway, there we go. Okay, so we're going to push in the pin. See this little bar that comes out? That's what we're going to slide the little thingy onto. So we're going to push it in and move the rail. Whoops. That locks it into place. There we go. Now that the metal bar is up, we're going to slide this on. Make sure the bolt hole is at the bottom and this slants outward. Give a little pressure in there. Now it's in. Slide it into a position. There we go. Now we're going to put it back into place. Now when you move it, make sure it doesn't come off. Let's slide it all the way up so we can access the bottom bolt. Oh, before I put that in, let me show you those plastic tabs. That's the big one that holds it in. It's not too bad. And then these longer, skinny ones are the ones that are most likely to break. So that's why I prefer not to take, that's why I prefer not to take this off. Ratchet that down. Carefully slide that down. Let me loosen this up a bit. Because when we secure the top one, we want to lift the bracket upward a little bit. That's the trick to threading in the bolt easy. I had to fight with it a couple times. Oh. That's in. Let's torque these down with my non-cooperating torque wrench. Switch to the 14mm. Whoops, not yet. Put this back into place. 1, 2, top, bottom. See the metal frame inserts. Let's get behind the lower B pillar. In. There we go. Got a click on the bottom. Don't have a click on the top. Should be secure though. Make sure the seatbelt's straight. 1, 2, 1 on the lower portion. There we go. Now for our seatbelt. Back to the torque wrench. Nice and secure. Let's get the rubber trim back on. If you have a bulge, don't worry, just work it in. One door down. Whoops, almost forgot the cover. There we go. Pop it back into place. 1, 2, and on both sides, make sure it's nice and secure. Top. There we go, clicked in. Assembly works. Last door. just under 10 minutes. And that's how you fix the seatbelt assembly in a 3rd generation Honda Fit. Thank you for watching. Roughly all the way down to the lower portion of the B-pillar. Remove the weather stripping on the other side. There's a clip on the top and then one on each side. Start with the one on the top, push in and pull backwards. Helps if you pull back with your fingers. And then work the sides. Now that our plastic cover has been removed, we're going to remove the seatbelt using a 14mm socket. When the seatbelt's removed, don't worry about losing the bolt because it is firmly attached. 4 fingers, thumbs, pop up the upper one, lower tab, pull that back, lower tab, upper tab, 2 slot tabs. To remove this, you're going to need a 12mm wrench. There is a bolt toward the top and a bolt toward the bottom. You can remove this plastic piece and then use a socket wrench, but the tabs on this are very small and brittle and more of a process to put back together. Remind me to get one of those ratcheting wrenches. Nice catch. How the seatbelt assembly works is when you pull this forward to adjust it up or down, the plunger moves in, and then you move it to another pre-existing hole. Put your squeeze button back on, make sure this is located in the right direction. You want the seat bolt hole located downward and the angle slanted out toward your right. Push in the button and move the rail so it holds it down. You can now see that the tab and the spring will be held upward. And take your button, you're going to slide it underneath the metal rail. A little bit of effort. If you pull it and it doesn't move, again, don't worry. Pull it and slide the rail with your thumb. This will move a lot more freely once it's back into place and secure. While this is off, let's document the tabs on this plastic cover. You can see there's one big one right there. That one's not too bad, nice and strong. These two are long and skinny and have a high chance of breaking, just for your information. So if this cover pops off too, again, no big deal. It's just going to take an extra minute to place it back onto the bracket. So let's reinstall this and get our seat belt and B-pillar back into place. Let's put this back into place. Bolt location, bolt location. We'll hand tighten it for now. Now use the adjustment to slide the plastic trim down and access the top bolt. You might need to hold it a little bit with your thumb. There we go. Slide it up, Get the bottom bolt. Like a good person, don't forget to torque these. It should be 22 pounds. My torque wrench is kind of busted here. Let's slide it on and up, and then snap it into place. Pop in the upper two tabs, top right, top left, and don't forget the green tab on the bottom right. Now let's reattach our seatbelt using our 14mm socket. Once again, it should be about 22 pounds of torque. With the seatbelt back into position, let's put on our plastic cover. Carefully slide it over the plastic so we don't lose our button again. Two tabs on the top and one on each side. Push it in until it clicks. Top ones are in, make sure the side ones are in and secure. Hear that click again. Good as new. Now let's put our weather stripping back and call this project done. If you have a bulge in your weather stripping, don't worry, just rub it in, work it into place. And that's how you fix the seatbelt assembly on a 3rd generation Honda Fit. Thank you for watching.